Jotted down some of those item numbers, hsn.com, the app, give us a call, make sure you grab those great values.
Yes, indeed.
We're gonna carry on. We're gonna talk about these Kessaris women's matte, talk about matte.
Yeah.
That must be like a thing right now. Bracelet watch, $24 off. As Lamar's gonna walk us through everything that this watch is, keep reminding yourself that this is a $16 watch. Keep saying, that's a $16 watch? Well, it's actually not, it's a $40 watch, but you can have it for $16 today. 2 flex
Lucky
payments also available. So here's your options. If you want to do it in the black, you're gonna get the silver tone on the black. See how the case is in the silver. If you do it in the navy, that's also gonna be in the silver tone. The red is going to have gold tone. There we go, I don't want a little bit of that shade on there from that. The bracelet is going to fit 7 to an 8 1/4 inch wrist. The case is 1 3/4 and 1 1/2. So it is a good size case on here. There's a 10-year warranty on a bracelet watch that has quartz movement when it comes to the actual watch part of it.
That's incredible. Yeah. First of all, just to explain quartz movement, that just means that it's battery operated. And personally, as a big watch enthusiast, I love quartz watches and quartz movement because it takes the guesswork out of it. You don't have to think about anything. I do have a multitude of automatic watches, but if I haven't worn them for a while, guess what I'm doing every single time I put it on my wrist? Checking my phone, checking the clock, checking another watch to make sure the time is set. So if you need something reliable, quartz is really the place to go. And if anything ever happens to it, 10-year warranty. I mean, that is completely unheard of with jewelry and watch brands. That's phenomenal.
And I love, you know, because we are seeing this is a bracelet watch. It's that round case, and then it's got that bezel set with the crystal. So it still gives a look of jewelry.
Absolutely.
It's not just a watch, even though I think it's a fabulous watch. It's easy to read because of the case size, and it's got those Roman numerals on there, but it's not busy.
Yes, I was gonna say this is probably the perfect size for a women's watch. There was a very big trend a couple of years back where boyfriend watches and oversized watch faces were all of the rage. And if that's your style, then more power to you. There are no rules when it comes to jewelry or watches. But if you do like a little bit more of a traditional size watch face, then this is perfectly appropriate for you. It's not too busy, it's not too large. At the same time, it is perfectly legible because you have that beautiful that beautiful dial. You can definitely see all of the markers. You've got accented Roman numerals at every 3rd hour to make sure you always know what time it is, and you never have to worry about the visibility of it. So if you struggle sometimes in low lighting or dim lighting because of that colored backsplash, that colored dial, you have a higher likelihood of being able to tell what the time is regardless of the lighting conditions. And then of course, the little bling never hurt anyone around the bezel. That gemstone accented bezel is gonna give you that little touch of luxury and that little touch of status, which for a timepiece, I really think is important. It's said that you look at your wrist 200+ times per day. I always say, if you're gonna be looking down at your wrist that often throughout the day, you wanna look at something gets you a little bit excited. That's what the bling on this watch does for you.
Oh, they cut you off. They don't want you to talk anymore, Lamar. We're having some mic problems. Everybody's in my ear. Lamar's mic's not working. I got you. What he was going, and it's so funny that you were saying about there was that big trend when the big watches were in. I remember when the trend was those tiny little watches where nobody could read the time. I feel like this is kind of swung, you know, somewhere in the middle where we can have that. And don't forget that the actual band on this is matte. So even though you're getting those bezel set crystals around the case and that gives you the little bit of bling, it is, the band itself isn't gonna be like so much that this is just like, hello, this is a bracelet, I need to wear something glamorous with this. This can be your everyday watch, no problems. And if you're looking at it in the navy on Danya right now, then you have kind of that silver tone that's gonna be in the hour and the second hand, that's in that silver, and the case is gonna be done in silver. And on the back, it's a stainless steel case back. And why that's important, if you've never really thought about what the back of your watch is, because that's what touches your skin. That's the part you want to be smooth. You want that part to, of course, be the part that feels comfortable on you. And these watches are all gonna have a fold over clasp, so it's even gonna be easy to kind of get in and out for these. So again, when I kept saying we're gonna go through everything that this does, all of the matte bracelet, the crystal set bezels, we're gonna remember this is a $16 watch. It's not a $16 watch. You get it for $16 today. So whatever color you get, and maybe that is something you don't have. Maybe you're a watch lover, you wear a lot of watches, you're a watch collector, but you don't have one with that pop of color. This is a way to get that. So maybe try the navy. Maybe try, the red. The black is gonna be very popular because that is always a staple. That is always gonna be, that go-to. The black is always gonna be the one you can kind of wear with anything. But for $15.95, absolutely maybe grab one with a little bit of color, get something fun with it. So again, the clasp on this one is gonna be a fold over clasp. So I wanna kind of show you that as we're going. So easy in, easy on when we're doing this. Are you joining me again, Lamar? And then we're gonna clasp it over.
Back in the party.
And then we're gonna click it together. So it's a fold over clasp, so it even gives you that smooth detail in the back when you're kind of putting it back together in the clasp. So it's not detailed and so ornate that it's a watch you can't wear. You know what I mean? Sorry, there it just clicked in for me.
You know what I heard? They said, we gotta cut Lamar off because he's sounding so good. These watches are moving so quickly. Everyone is loving them. The black will be the first to go. They said get him out. They said get him out of there.
It was kind of like the award ceremony when they're like giving a speech and they're like, God is
they start playing him off.
That was so funny. No, Lamar is back with us, which I love. But you were talking about this watch, and I kind of picked up for you that it is easily readable.
Yes.
If you're going to look down at your wrist, you want it to be something that's, and I just kind of carried on how comfortable it is.
A couple hundred times a day, but that's important too.
Yeah.
And it comes down to the fact that this is a bracelet watch.
Yeah.
So when we talk about bracelets, we talk about how well they're articulated, meaning how well they move. You can see with this bracelet, it's well articulated. I mentioned this earlier today, that you want to make sure it's going to drape over your wrist, that it's gonna fit comfortably because your wrist is curved, so that means that your watch bracelet should be able to curve and move with you as well. So this is officially in the watch industry what we refer to as a bracelet. If it didn't have this articulation, if it didn't have this fluidity, for example, if it were leather, which tends to be very kind of tough and static, you would just call that a strap or a band. This is a bracelet, which means that this is really jewelry that tells the time. Yes, it is a watch by definition, but because of the bracelet, because of the bling, because of all the details that go into creating something this beautiful, it's jewelry that tells the time.
Look at that.
That's simple.
So again, that's the black with the silver tone on it. We also have the navy with the silver tone, and then the red is the one with the gold tone, if you're more of wanting to kind of match back to the gold on here. But just enough bling. I love that the bling sets up against the matte bracelet on there. And then if you look at all the markers on there, it's just a very clean yet legible look. That you get to this watch. And
clean is the best way to describe it.
Right, I think it is a very clean look for this one. Again, I said, as we're going along, you'll kind of fade out and forget what I started with, but we're giving this for $16 for this watch that is jewelry, that is giving time. So on Danya is the red with the gold tone. 2 flex payments if you want to get it home. Under $8, you can absolutely do that. 623242 is the item number for this one. If you want to get the Kessaris Women's Matte Bracelet Watch home. Okay. This is from the Real Collectibles by Adrian. This is the multi-shaped stone